Join me as I take on the challenge of creating a Zentangle Christmas tree card from scratch. Yes, you can do it too. In this video, I'll show you how to create a simple but eye-catching Christmas tree card that you can use for gifting and for decoration around your home this Christmas. Many people struggle with finding unique and personal ways to send festive greetings, leading to repetitive or generic cards. Let's try and avoid that. I'm going to go through the materials you need and a step-by-step process of the Zentangle patterns, and this is really up for interpretation. You can do what you like. I'm just going to guide you through it. I have used a gouache pad, and this paper is 160 GSM, which is like a fairly thick paper that you can also put a bit of paint on, because that's what we're going to do at the end, so stay tuned. Okay, so I have cut down my card into a square, and it's a nice thick gouache pad paper. It's 160 GSM. Now I'm placing this is a lid of a tin, and take your pencil and make a circle. There you go. Easy. I'm putting a piece of paper in between the card just so that there's no bleed through from the markers and the alcohol markers that I'm going to be using. Okay, and now I'm starting the process of penciling in the Christmas tree. Very simple design. You can easily follow what I'm doing here, or make it even better. Okay, I'm penciling in my little star on the top. You can put an angel on top there if you want, something else, heart maybe. Use your imagination here. Now I am going in with just an ordinary black ballpoint pen, just outlining over the pencil here. You can use a felt tip pen as well, obviously. Okay, so there's the outline done, outlining the star. And now I'm going to start just giving myself, just making a pattern in the tree that I can fill in with the Zentangle, the patterns. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just do what you feel comfortable with doing. So I'm sort of just making designated areas where I can start doing the Zentangle design. Of course, if you don't feel confident with doing this straight away in pen, you can pencil it in first and then just go over it with your pen. Okay, so now I'm starting with the Zentangle, and it's just simple lines I'm using here, just simple lines. Anyone can do this. And patterns, you can do bendy lines, you can do triangles, triangle patterns like that. I remember doing this in we called it sabe in South Africa. I think in the UK it's called recreation. So like pre-primary, I remember doing these patterns. You know, you had to do it on a line to practice your handwriting or whatever on those lines. And I remember doing sort of wave patterns and the triangle patterns. So was good for something. It was good for Zentangle. Okay, so I'm putting in circles. Those are going to be like my baubles. The Christmas decorations, very simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple by keeping it complicated. That's my motto. I always want to keep things simple and they end up being extremely complicated. But yeah, as you can see, it may look complicated. It isn't. It's just a very simple process of lines and squiggly lines and circles and. Do whatever you like. This is just a guide. That's the great thing about art. It's up to you. Creative expression. Oh, you may want to know, what is Zentangle and who created it? Well, Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts actually created Zentangle in the early 2000s. And it was created as a fun and relaxing way to get creative, and it's easy to learn. Anyone can do it. It's a meditative practice. It can help reduce anxiety and stress. It can help improve your concentration and give you a sense of calmness. So it's a really lovely thing to practice with by yourself or with your family, your children, especially during the holidays. This is a really nice project to do. So I hope to see some beautiful creations down below. Please share what you've come up with your Zentangle Christmas tree card. Okay, as you can see, it's coming on now. Just simple little lines and objects, and you are creating Zentangle. The fun part is to come, coloring in. Well, I don't know about you, but that's my fun part. I love adding the color. That's so cool. And relaxing. You may be wondering, how am I drawing with those nails? I was wondering the same thing. It's come to a point now where there's certain things I can't do anymore. Like, it's ridiculous. I have to ask my husband to put on our steaming machine, for instance, when I'm preparing vegetables. I realized the other day I couldn't actually do the timer. I couldn't, manipulate the time switch. Yeah, they're gonna come off soon. They are. It has to. It has to happen at some point. But you know, you hold on to these long nails as long as you can. For some reason, I don't know why, because they are quite restricting. They're also good for other things. I won't mention here, but they're good for scratching. My cat loves them. Oh dear. They're also great for poking your eye out. I often do myself great mischiefs by accidentally sort of poking my eyes out. I don't know how else to say it. They slip, and oh, my nails are also incredibly hard, because obviously that's where hard as nails comes in. So they're quite lethal, actually. You need to register them as weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so I'm almost finished here with the patterns. I'm going to get onto the fun part, color. Like I said before, please share your creations in the comments below. Love to see what you're getting up to. Okay, so that's it. The Zentangle has been drawn. Okay, so here I'm doing black first. I'm coloring in where I want the black bits to be. As you can see, the way I flipped over the card, it does bleed through. This paper's not quite thick enough to not have a bleed through, hence why that other piece of paper's in the middle there, catching the ink. Okay, so I've chosen quite a simple color palette here. I've just gone with various shades of green for the tree, and just as you can see there, a little bit of brown in the trunk and yellow. But yeah, primarily I've done just different shades of green in the tree, and I'm going to go in and paint the baubles with a gold paint, which we'll get to in a minute, or 2 or 3. As you can see, it's taking shape now. Such fun! Such fun. I did a yellow there. I think I went over it though, in green. I didn't like the yellow. You play around, experiment. There's no rights and wrongs in art. You can hardly see this color. It's a very, very light green. There you see I'm going over the yellow. I'm going to do some more of these. I really enjoy doing this. Just trying to think of other sort of Christmassy designs. So if you have any ideas what you want to see, please put them in the comments below. What Zentangle Christmas simple design would you like to see? I know traditionally black is not the best color for Christmas, but I thought it would look nice. Just use it sparingly, I guess. I also like that stripy, Tim Burton-y look, especially at Christmas. Are there any Nightmare Before Christmas fans out there? Raise your hands. I love his form of art. His style, it's pretty cool. There goes the Tim Burton influence again. So, is there any traditional Christmas movie that you and your family watch? What is your go-to movie over Christmas? My family kind of oddballs. So as I mentioned before, Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely my family's go-to Christmas movie. What's yours? Comment below. I'd love to hear.
The other interesting thing about Christmas, my husband hates Christmas music, and I love listening to Christmas music, especially the old Bing Crosby type stuff. Oh, I love it. And he just hates, like, he can listen to maybe an hour or two of it, like, and that's it for Christmas. Like, no, not every day. And I'm like an everyday person. I guess it's like, you know, whether you are a fan of cilantro or not. Is cilantro the right word? That's like, we in South Africa call it coriander, but I think dania or cilantro, it's a herb, like a green. I love it. It's so fresh and wonderful. I can just eat it out the packet, and some people absolutely hate it. It's one of those love-hate things, and I think Christmas music's also one of those love-hate things. Are you a lover of Christmas music, or do you despise the jingles? You don't want to jingle your bell over Christmas. You couldn't give a hoot what Santa's reindeers are called. Okay, so it is taking shape now. I quite like the monotone, but like, yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see this done in like a whole variety of colors as well. So if you choose to go for like the color spectrum, please share it below in the comments. See what yours turned out to look like. Oh Christmas tree, how entangled are your branches. Look at that. Okay, probably a lot of you have now swiped away from this video. I won't sing anymore. Closing in, it's almost there. It's amazing when you finish doing this and you think you've finished, and then you see all those white gaps. It's like, oh, no, I'm not finished. Obviously I've left the baubles because I'm painting those in gold, but there were quite a few little, I don't know if you can see them there, I've already coloured them in, but anyway. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going over what I want to be in gold paint in yellow just for now, so I can easily see where I need to put in the gold. Oh, I can see a white gap there that I haven't filled in. How to crit your own work. What she's doing. Oh, so much better. There, put something in there. Slip it in under your nose. Okay, so now that is Dala. I think that's a South African brand, so you can use any sort of craft paint metallic. I'm using metallic gold. If you're not in South Africa, yeah. I don't know what yours are called, but ours is called Dala. Dala. It actually sounds quite Australian. Dala. So you've got to be quite careful with this. You don't want to go over the line. Got to paint in the line. Don't go out the box. At least I changed my water, although the jar I'm using looks horrendous. I am a working artist, so there's lots of paint in there, but the actual water is clean, which is actually a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle because I'm quite a slobby artist, I have to admit. Sloppy. I can get away with not changing my water, I will. Until it gets real bad. And it's only because I'm not anywhere near a tap, so I have to go upstairs to change the water. So it's not that I'm that lazy. Actually, I am. One side is done. You can see I'm trying so hard not to put my hand down on the paper, because I always do that and then I smear all the paint all over the place. But I never pick up on that initially. It's always when I've done a really good job of messing up the whole thing. Then I realize, oh, I got my hand down on wet paint. Have any of you ever done that? Please tell me I'm not alone in this. Because no matter how much I try not to, it's just like an automatic response. I put my hand down. Because you're trying to steady yourself. Yeah, I'm trying to justify. You're trying to steady your hand, and it's so difficult to paint sort of up in the air. I can't tell you how many times I've smeared my painting. Okay, the gold is done. Never leave your brush in the water like that. 101. When I used to teach children arts and crafts, I'll be so upset with them when they left the paintbrushes in the water. And I have to admit, I can't tell you how many times I've done that. To my own detriment. Don't do as I do. Okay, so I am doing a second layer of gold because I don't know if you can see, but it's still kind of transparent. So you want to just go over it so it's a little more opaque and glistening and glossy and goldy and glitzy. Almost sounds like Santa's reindeers. Goldy and glitzy. Oh dear. Make it up as we go along. As you can see, the more solid gold is now coming through. Layers, people. Layers. It's always about layers. Oh, I'm trying so desperately not to touch the gold paint with my other hand. That's steadying. Okay, you can probably see now, because I'm using like a thick acrylic, the paper is curling slightly. All you have to do once the paint is dry is just put a really heavy book on it and it'll straighten out. See, these tips are priceless. Professional. Put a book on it. Something heavy and flat. Even though I am actually using wash paper, which is, you know, the opaque watercolor paint. I'll never forget the first time I heard the word gouache. I used to work in an art shop and someone walked in and said, I'd like to order some gouache. And I, honest to God, had never heard that before. I've never felt so out at sea. What do you want? Gouache. Do you know what gouache is? Have you heard that before? I'm sure you have by now. I'm talking about 20 years ago when I was a lightie. I was in my early 20s. And I didn't know what gouache was. Okay, so now the gold acrylic has been laid down. I'm going to take a glass liner. It's just a little squeezy pen thing with gold acrylic. This is the Dala range as well, so if you're not in South Africa, I don't know what you would use, but you could also use, you can get those empty squeezy bottles that they use in fabric painting and stuff, and you can pull in your own gold paint if you don't have something like this, but I'm sure you do. And it's nice and raised, so it gives a nice raised effect. Hence why I used it for my baubles. Now they stick out. But please also be warned, this needs quite a bit of time for drying. Again, I've so many times squished the paint because I thought it was dry. And there we go. There is your Zentangle Christmas tree card. Dazzle your family and friends. Do you like the outcome? Could you do better? I'm sure you could. Please pop your creations in the comments below. We'd all love to share our work and see what other people have come up with. This is a creative sharing space, so yeah, let's see what you've done. Now you can start writing in it.
In this video, I showed you how to, from scratch, make this really delightful Christmas tree card. And we went through what paper to use, what materials to use, just simple Zentangle designs, and using a little bit of mixed media, adding a bit of embellishments and like gold paint. So yeah, I would love to see what you've come up with. So please get cracking, get creative, pull in the kids and get to work. I'd love to see what you come up with. Please post in the comments below. And do subscribe to this channel. I put out a lot of art tutorials and craft tutorials. So if this is your kind of thing, hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video. Oh, and one more thing before you go. I've got a new video out. Well, obviously, if you've made a Christmas card, you're going to want a Christmas gift. So let's make something that's upcycled and beautiful and dazzling and magpie. And I love gold. So this involves a lot of gold, but it's really stunning. And I am going to link it right at the end of this video. It's how to create a vase using upcycled materials. They are going to make such great gifts.